Going back to the past and who I used to be, I remember when I would see somebody, a man, for example, or my friend or sister, and I would think to myself, this person is a direct extension of who I am. And it was so strange. Thinking about it now is so weird to think that we grew up seeing people as our versions, as people that are reflections or extensions of us. And it stopped us from having truthful relationships with them. Like, just imagine you're thinking that your sister is you, and instead of you to connect with what she gives, you're connecting with what you think she should be giving to you. Or if it's a man, who he should be for you to be happy instead of who he is truthfully to like everyone else. It's weird. It's funny. I started talking about relationships a while back and realizing that relationships are dynamics. Are dynamic. They give and they take, but they don't exchange values. They don't exchange someone's being for another person's being. It's all about sharing what you have and giving or receiving what you desire. Like or what you desire, yeah. Yeah. For example, if I am a friend of a water sign, I wouldn't explain or experience the person as a fire sign. I would experience the person as a sign that is true to who they they are. So for example, with fire being me and water being that person, if that person feels too much, I don't expect the person to feel lesser than they actually do, because in that person is a range of emotions that I, as fire signs or a fire sign, would never be able to tap into. And so I don't expect them to stop crying when they feel overwhelmed, or or stop stop overwhelm in general, because that is what they experience every day, every moon cycle, every month. You know, it's like expecting a woman to stop her bleed because she's walking with you in a dynamic. It doesn't work that way. She's still going to have to bleed every month, just like a cycle of a sign of a water sign will still have to experience emotional overwhelm sometimes. And just because you're in that person's dynamic or in a dynamic with that person does not mean they should quit who they experience themselves as just to please who you want them to be. So, what does it mean to be a water sign and a fire sign? Well, ask yourself, what does it mean to be able to be me? And then figure how to give what you can. Figure out how to give who or what you are able to give to the next person, and find out what they have to give that you would appreciate and exchange that. That's a dynamic. That is the truth of relationships. So stop expecting another person to give you what you should be giving yourself, or what you should have another person who has that to give you. If you're looking for someone less emotional, then don't be with a water sign. Don't create a dynamic where you need something like that with a water sign. Go to a fire sign and have a relationship with the person who would jazz you to not feel a thing, because that's who the person and what the person has to share with you. So it's so interesting that we don't realize how separate or different, or how we are. We don't understand how we are, who we are. If we do, we would be, if we do, we would not be expecting other people to shift. We would know what to do to get what we want. And that includes shifting the person or changing the relationship to someone else. It's not you that you're leaving. It is not the person that is leaving you. It is the relationship that is shifting. I no longer have to give you what I don't have, and you no longer have to produce something that you're not capable of producing. It is dynamic. It is quite literally that dynamic that you're changing. So let's get into the habit of understanding who we are, what we can produce, and then remember to receive what we can and give what we can too. Okay? As a fire sign, you should not be capable of receiving the overwhelm of a water sign. It's not who you are, it's not what you can get. As a water sign, you should not be exchanging with a fire sign the incapacity to feel deeply. It is not for you to receive. I wish we were taught how to receive and get what we truly, really need, what we truly desire to get, than to be chasing the things that don't benefit us in any way, that takes us from our equilibrium, that takes us from our self, our truth, our genuine state of existing in this life, in this world. So, as much as we want to move into a dynamic with a person, you want a relationship, You want a man to be someone that you have imagined in your life. Ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? What do I have? And who is he? What does he have? Because you would exchange personalities and desires that may dwindle or create a safer space for you to live in this world, or a safe space for you. I want to say safer because you're always safe as long as you're not being attacked by a wild animal. But yeah, physically and emotionally safe space for you. Oh, emotionally. Okay, anyways, that is it for today. And I hope to have another conversation soon with you. See you in the next one. Bye.